I posted something and somebody said something, and then and she came to my defense saying, like, he don't have to be a fan of mine, but I appreciate how he supports us in bodybuilding. And I said, I appreciate that. This was back in, I think it was 2022, the 2023 when she won the title, when she beat Sarah. There's the Barbara Marjan who recently retired. Her last Olympia was last year. And you have Sarah Vilgas, And the thing is, if the title step away, or if something happens, will Sarah take back the title? I mean, some say Sarah was the reason why the division changed. Her one thing I think a lot of girls I see posted is the glutes. Sarah's glutes are just crazy. Some say that she's maybe a little bit towards more women's bodybuilding, but with me, she doesn't have the size. Her condition is crazy. I mean, again, Sarah's another person who I'm not a big fan of, but her body is just, she has I would say, amazing body.
Yeah, yeah. She got an amazing body.
Yep.
Yeah. As you know, Sarah also, she was one woman. One thing I respect about her was with the things going on with women's physique, where they get pushed out of shows, just like women's bodybuilding. She stepped up. One point she even put prize money for like Pittsburgh and the Texas Pro. As you know, just a few months ago, she announced that, as you know, this was her distinction award that's given at the Texas Pro. This year, she's not giving it out. She made this announcement a while back where it was been for 6 years. She was doing it since 2020, and the last time the show was reward was passed out was 2025. The winner of the show was Brittany Hera. But the thing is Sarah's doing a lot of stuff that's not very conducive. Right here, she's here with Chris Cormier, legendary competitor Olympian, and she's posting about oil because saying that the tire's using it. She's been talking a lot of stuff. There's her husband right there, and he supports her. And and she's been kind of quiet after a while. Other than just posting stuff here and there, she's been kind of quiet. But the big thing is that how long will she want to compete? As you know, you can't keep doing this forever. Like Sarah's not no spring chicken. She's, I think she's almost 40. And could she keep on going another 2 or 3 more years, try to get back the title, or just realize that it's time to pack it up? I'm hearing some stuff that she's doing some other business deals, stuff outside the show, outside of bodybuilding. She also runs her own gym, and it also helps with other people in their coaching their process. Anyway, we got comments here. We got some comments here. Give me a sec here. Shout out to our man Jeff. He says, "Hey George, how are you doing? On vacation next week." Okay. Hey, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. We have the lovely Mrs. Doctor Natalia says, "Hi George, Alex K, stopping by to show some support and wish you guys a great week." Thank you, Dr. Natalia.
Thank you, Natalia. Nice to see. Nice to hear
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. Here go my man Black Panther says, "Hi George and crew. This is Black Panther." Brother, you don't you don't have to tell. I know it's you. It's. I don't. You have to tell me. Come on. I know it's you, brother. Also, he says this. He says Natalia from Brazil is great ambassador for women's physique. Brazil. Shout out to him. Also, he says this. He says there should women's bodybuilding shows in WP shows in Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Charlotte, North Carolina, USA is a beautiful city. Yeah, I've been to Charlotte. It's been a long time ago since I've been to Charlotte. But actually, Black Panther, there's some news coming up. There's a show coming up. It's going to be in Charlotte. It's not women's bodybuilding, women's physique. It's figure. It's called the Queen of the City, and it's going to be in Charlotte in October. And I'm maybe thinking about checking it out because Charlotte's just down the road from where I see it. It's not too, like I said, it's just a couple hours from where I live in Robinson County in Roland. So, I can, I think about me renting a car, driving down there, stay a couple of days, check out the show, maybe get some interviews out. We got here, shout out to our brother here, David. He can't make it today. Shout out to David says, Natalia is a real sweetheart, but I prefer her without the fake boobs. And what do you think about the Sarah versus Natalia beef? Maybe they will scrap on stage. uh, um, brother, I don't see it happen. I don't see there gonna be a brawl room bash on the Olympia stage. Most definitely, Jake's not gonna let it happen. He's not gonna, nah, brother. He's not gonna play that. But maybe that'll be something interesting. Two women half naked, oil up, tanned up, and fighting on the middle stage. You can sell tickets to that. Make that a new show. Shout out to my man, Black Panther. He says women's bodybuilding the greatest. Yeah, it's greatest. I like it. It's the division that started it all. And also, this is from a man Jeff says, Natalia, I'm single. Brother, I think you better forget about it. Yeah, you might as well, you know, knock that out of the park. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. You can be nice to her, be friendly, but you're not gonna get it. You're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. I'm just gonna be realistic. Shout out to my man here. Black Panther says Sarah and Natalia are great women's physique athletes. Women's physique is the greatest. And shout out to my man. David says, "Hey, this is the White Panther. He, just teasing." Whatever. You can call yourself the big Pink Panther, brother. So I was, like I said, there's some amazing ladies. Some ladies are top 5, top 10 competitors in the future. Who could possibly, maybe, uh, if either Natalia decides to say, you know what, she's still a young woman, and she's been Miss Olympia a couple of times. Maybe she wants to step away and have a life. And then I think again, Sarah's not a spring chicken. Maybe she wants to step away. Who would you think, in your opinion, and I'm asking you, Alex, would you like to see as maybe the next women's physique Olympian?
And that's going to be a difficult one. I've been currently thinking of a few other athletes who would potentially take the title in the future after if Natalia had enough wins. So, and I know Sarah's been gone through the controversy already. I know. Let's see. What about Sema Benta? What about her? Does she have what it takes?
Well, Zama, I'm a fan of her. She has a great physique, great aesthetics. She's been last couple of years a top 3, top 5 competitor. Could Zama take the title? I think possibly, especially if she comes in, I think with the best overall condition, the best overall shape, and the look that I think the judges want. I could see as a champion. But here's the hiccup. As you know, she does not speak too much English. And I think I'd be probably wants a more, more bilingual competitor. It's still a business. And, but again, as you know, she was, before she got bodybuilding, she was married. Her first husband was abusive. She has 2 sons. And she's been looking good. I mean, here she is. I think this is one of her trainers. She has a crazy physique. One point she even competed in women's bodybuilding, and you look at her. Wow. Her overall physique. Smaller waist, just like Natalia. I think a little bigger in the quads. Or maybe she'll trim down by the time it's time for Olympia. I don't think she's doing any other shows because she last 1 year she did both Tampa and Texas. Yeah, but like I said, I'm a fan of Zama. She's very dedicated. Active. Quite a few competitors. Just this is just a quality about her, and also again, she is very stunning. My man David did an interview with her a while back. Her husband sat in as interpreter. I wouldn't mind doing an interview, but I feel like you lose something when you have to interpretate. We have to translate something, And my style is very comic, very funny. But like I said, Zama, she's one of those women just got a great look to her. I think she's very attractive, has a great physique. Could she be the next Miss Olympia physique? Maybe. But again, it goes back to the IB and what they want. They want maybe somebody who can speak English, who's very more, I don't know, you know, presentable, but she has that great look to her. But again, it's up to what the judges think, and if she can come in great condition and maybe push out both Natalia or Sarah.
Mm.
We got here come from my man David. He says, "Scrap it on stage would gave the Olympia a lot of media attention, maybe, but it'd be something nice to happen." Also, my man Black Panther. It would be great for women's bodybuilding division to have shows in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's near the future. Also, the women's physique division as well. That's a great thing. Hoping. Also, shout out to man David says, I think Susan Madison could be Miss Olympia, but I'm biased. I know you biased. That's your girl. I mean, I like Susan. She has a great body. I would say she has a great look to her. I would say she's very. Some would say very feminine, physical and feminine, pleasing. But again, it's about if she can bring the conditioning to crack even to the top three. The last couple of years has been like women like Zambenta and Natalia and Sarah, and then switch up. You might have one year you had Brooke Walker, and then it's still going to be the top two is going to be between Sarah. Then you had a couple other competitors. But like again, I think for my man David, I'm gonna pull up Susan because I know that's his girl. He's a fan of hers. He's been to a couple of shows. He was both in New York and ultimately last competed. He couldn't go to Spain. I mean, Susan has a great look to her. I mean, um, especially for a woman of 40 plus. That's the thing. I think the judges probably want to have somebody a little bit younger. As you know, the youngest, I think the youngest person to hold the title was Shanique Grant. And Shanique was in her early 20s. I think with, with Susan, you know, could she crack the top five?
Who's
I
that
don't
girl?
know.
Not to cut you off. Who's that chick beside her?
Oh, that's Julia Capocos. I think that's her name. She's from Spain. She won the Imperial last month, and she came
Yeah.
second at the Portugal. And she has a great look to her. This is somebody I think let me see if I can pull her up because I think if I go to let's see, here she is. I'll pull up real quick. Now Julia she's got a Olympic qualification, and Julia, can you
Yeah,
believe it?
come on.
She's over 40. Because she competed. She competed at the Euro Masters, which is a Masters pro qualifier in Italy. She also placed second at the Portugal Masters in women's physique. I mean, she has a great look to her. I mean, very feminine, very good muscle, the aesthetics of women's physique. Could she crack the top five, or could she be top three, or even be the next physique Olympian? There's also a thing is she speaks mostly Spanish because I talked to her online, so I had to use my Google Translator to talk back and forth with her. And that's the thing is, the Olympia wants to have somebody who can really represent that. If you do interviews, you can talk to the interview right in a translator. You can even if you speak another language, you can go back and forth. If she could translate and speak in Spanish and speak in English, but she has a great physique. Her placing
Yeah.
at Portugal wasn't as like I said. We were talking. She didn't lack a placing because she took second. Um, Maybe again, the judges are different depending what show you go to. One judge might like your physique one day, and one judge might not like your physique the other. Like what happened with Sarah Bradley, she had forfeit Toronto. But she could be a future contender. But again, she is over 40, and I think the IV want a much younger competitor that can push and they can ride on like someone like if you look at over figure like Cindy Gillis. Cindy was I think when she retired from the game, she was just still in her mid-30s, and she's been competing since a good part of her mid to early 20s.
What about Paula Ransom?
Paula, like I said, Paula's still young. Like I said, being just like she's only 26. I think she's going 27 this year.
Mm.
Paula has that potential. Some say she might have more potential for women's bodybuilding than she has women's physique. And when she started out, she was doing figure. She even earned qualification in Olympia as a figure competitor. And this is confirmation from her herself that Paula's going to be doing Chicago Pro this weekend. And some she also has hanged out and she's been mentored by Sarah. One thing about it is also the crazy gyration of glutes. I mean, she does have that advantage of youth. Her English is getting a little better because she does post them quite often. As she's reaching her Finland. Her English is getting a little better. You know, and that's the advantage of that she's still young. If she becomes a champion now and just not even 30 yet, she can hold that title as long as she can stay and maintain her shape. She can hold that title for 10 years before she ever think about really retiring.
Mm.
Mm.
A lot of them, they retire like it's not long till they retire. So I don't know. Like some of them, they just came in the scene because there was this other chick. I forgot her name. She had a nice physique. I forgot, but then she retired. Like I think like sometime that last year. I think she did like one show. She was from Germany. I forgot her name.
Let's see.
Dave interviewed her
I
a
think
while back.
Julia Sherrod.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the name.
Yes.
I
I think
think
she
that's
talking about,
the,
yeah. Yeah, because I think she said because she felt like her physique didn't fit the criteria for WPD. And that's why she stepped back. She did compete. She did make a pro debut about 2 years ago at New York. She came back this year did New York, and also she did Pittsburgh, and then she said it was a wrap for her. But that's the thing is about this.
no, not
I
her, not her, not her. It was another one. She had curly hair. I forgot her name. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna be Pacific. She gave me a strike years ago, and I got yeah. She gave me because
oh
I took the videos.
oh
And
you mean Anna Lynn?
yes,
I,
I think that's her name. If
yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
I think she might be coming back
Yeah,
because she I think she did a thing where she was in there was a show in Germany, the FIBO.
yeah.
She was there. She's talking to JB. I think the thing with her because what some people tell me because she's not really consistent with some stuff. I think what mistake she made was last year she did multiple. Was that last year? It was a year.
2 years ago, I think.
It was like
2 years
it
ago.
was it was when she did the least. She did both the she did like at least three shows here in the states. She did Pittsburgh, Altima, and Omaha. She placed in the top three, top five of those shows. Then she did the Portugal Pro, where she got third. And I think she got discouraged by it. And she's still,
Mm.
I think she's still in good shape. I didn't talk to her. Maybe try to set up an interview for a future. I know David interviewed a couple of times. Um, I think the question is that I think what she did was jump on shows that I think what she did is she should do this. She should have done Pittsburgh, and she should have did Omaha. I remember she was actually um,
Her name was
in
Anna Prince or something like that.
yeah,
And
Anna Prince. Yeah, no,
yeah, Anna
yeah,
Prince. Yeah.
yeah, and I remember she was actually hanging with Millie Horton in Toronto, in Canada,
Um,
and that was maybe she could have did the Toronto Super Show, but she decided to do the Ultima, and she had to do Omaha Ultima. She could have done Toronto instead of instead of doing Omaha, she could have done Toronto. That was the year that Robin Mays won her Olympic qualification, and that was actually that was 2024. But I think Anna, if she takes the time and is still in good shape, I know she's focused on coaching and stuff like that. You never know. She might come back. She's very, I think, very private about her social media. You know,
Mm.
but again, I think if she can get out her own head and realize that this is a expensive sport to get into, and if you
It's
are
up to
dedicated
her.
to it, hmm,
Nah, I said, nah, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
if she really wants to come back, you got to be strategic. She could have done a show in Germany. There was a show in Germany that she could have done. That's her home country, her home backyard, that she probably could get Olympic qualification for. Because the lady who won that show took second to Robin Mays at the Toronto Super Show. But again, her potential for Miss Olympia, I don't see it. I think maybe a few years I could probably eventually see her doing women's bodybuilding because she has a lot of muscle density. She doesn't have the small tapering waist compared to some other ladies. She has good physique, but still, I think she's just a bit inconsistent when it comes to certain things.
I was rooting for her, but she did that bullshit a couple of years ago. I just left her alone. Like, whatever. It said you want to come back, you come back, you do, you do. But I would. My point is, a lot of them, it ain't certain. They span. They have like a short span with on being on stage. That's why I brought her up. And she ain't stayed long. So
I think she competed for at least a couple of years, and then she took a break one year,
yeah,
came back, and then she kind of just I don't I think what it was. I think she talked about because of space of competing, but again, when you get in sport, you have to be very calculating. Like again, she should have did Toronto instead of doing Omaha, thinking that she had an easy shot with Omaha. But that was a mistake. Sometimes it's best to she was in Toronto, she was in Canada, right there. She could have did the Super Show, and maybe she got Olympic qualification. Shout out to Miss Robert Mays, a woman who was she was 58 that year, still, beating out girls who were 20 years to 10 years younger than her. And I got to give respect to her. We have here some comments here. Shout out to my man here, Black Panther. He's been sticking with us. He says this. He says, Susan will be a great as well. Give me that. Also, shout out to our man Josh from the Empire Nation Stand Up. Says Sharonica Hinton would be a great Miss Olympia for WPD. I'm a fan of Sharonica Hinton. I've met Sharonica Hinton. To me, honestly, Sharonica fits the criteria. She looks more like WPD than what the women you see now. She has a great look, great body to her. I mean, she's a posing coach, respected in the sport. Honestly, she's been a multiple time Olympian. She's been a top five competitor in Olympia. This year, and she's also been top three. Last year. Um, I honestly, again, I just love her physique. It is really what the division is. She has the smaller waist. She has great muscle. She's not overly large compared to some of the women you've seen now.
yeah, she's pretty. That's all I got to say. I don't really follow her like that. So
Well, I follow her because I appreciate because sometimes she comments on stuff. I'll tag on a post. She'll tag me back. I appreciate that. I would love to do interview with her in the future if she ever has the time. Again, if you look at her physique, to me, this is at a show where she was guest posing, and she's a good posing coach and a good poser herself. To me, the aesthetics, she has a nice smaller waist, uh, you know, good definition, good aesthetics, beautiful physique. I love my chocolate sisters. Women with muscle, just chocolate sisters with muscles, just beautiful. You know, again, I look at the other women; they're getting too big, and she's been to Olympia as in women's physique, been a top five competitor. I mean, I don't know what the judges are looking for. This is again, if you look at Natalia, she's not too far from Natalia.
mm,
Yeah. But again, I'm not a judge. I'm a fan. I'm just giving my opinion. She has to qualify again because she was Year before, she was in the top three, and with them for all the other divisions except for the men, it's top three qualification. You top three, you get to compete next year. You don't have to do any shows. That's why I say I don't know why tag keeps doing shows where you're either you're the champion or you're first runner up. But again, she wants to be active. That's cool. But I think now she's doing a smart thing, whereas she's not a champion. She's stepping back. She's just gonna do the Olympia. If she even she loses, she might try to jump in the show. I hope she does not. Just take you got your spot, you got your seat, take it. I mean, I know you want to be active, want to be competitive, but hey, take your seat. Sit down, chill. We got here a comment from my man. Shout out to my man. Black Panther says, "For your bodybuilder, the Soccer Dawson is the greatest. She has the heart of a champion. She's representing Texas, USA. Cool. We're not talking about her right now. We are talking about her another
You
time.
think everybody's I swear he think everybody's the great.
He's a big fan. Shadow Man David says Susan is purdy, excellent physique. Yeah. She's purdy. Yeah, I got to meet her up close and personal. There's some things that. Shout out to my man. He says female bodybuilder. He said this again, dude. You repeat yourself, man. You got to stop being like cartoons. My man here says Julia's gorgeous. She's coming to Tampa. Ooh, oh, she's gonna compete in Tampa. Wow. I mean, shoot. I mean, maybe she just want to make a U.S. debut. I mean, also, I know Sean Nelson is going to be doing some photo sessions around that way. So maybe she might hit him up. If she has him as a translator. I know I sent a link a while back, and when he was coming up. Shout out to him, man. He says this. He says, Andrea Shaw, Ashley Jones, Exxon Dawson would be great at the Miss Olympia championships representing women's bodybuilding. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's good. Okay. It's just like, and no, wait a minute. I got the wrong person. My man says Julie Sherrod. Okay, as we mentioned, or it says I think we're talking about you, Kale. It says
Anna
Anna Prince,
Prince.
where we Anna Prince. Yeah, Anna Prince. And we got here. My man here, Brown Baldy, hadn't seen him in a bit. Shout to man Brown Baldy. He says, damn dude, you got a strike. The fuck?
Yeah, he's talking about me. He got I did a couple of years ago. I took like videos and she ain't like it, so she took it down and stuff. So I think she gave me like two strikes, probably like two videos with one strike, and another chick did, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Here's the funny part of it. I have taken videos of those women too and posted, but I don't know why I didn't get a strike. Only time I got a strike was when
Anna. Somebody actually when I got that strike, I remember somebody did another video with her and stuff like that. I don't know if she discovered it, but I did like two videos of her, and she took them down and stuff. Every once in a while, I'll get somebody that have an issue with me posting it. And now I try to what I do majority of the times, I'll like credit them, like I'll put their Instagram and stuff like that. Because I remember if you follow Muscle Girl Love, they had that similar problem. They would just get constant strikes, and then they started crediting the person on their Instagram. But even that, it's like you gotta ask them now. Like I try to ask them sometimes I don't, but I've been like trying to just ask, hey, can I post your videos and all that type of stuff? And some of them say yes, some of them say no, but that's what it is.
Here's the thing is that once you put that out there, it's called fair use. It's not like unless you are some kind of person where your company where you have like if you like one thing with if any of the sports like you got the Fever Cup right now. And this guy who I just watched, his name is Chisel Dollars. His IG got taken down, and it's funny because the issue was because of FIFA was talking about. But it's funny. There's other platforms that show the FIFA stuff, but because he's talking about the controversy and stuff like that. I like his stuff. It's really funny. I've been following. I didn't pay attention to the FIFA thing until he posts something, and I watch it. And he's talking about the goals and stuff like that, and I watch a little bit of it. I don't care about soccer. I'm not a big soccer fan. I don't have the love for it. But it's kind of funny how people say, okay, you don't want to show your image. I had a lady a while back when I did one of my videos. She didn't like the fact I used a picture, in that video, but it's a picture that you don't own. It's a picture from NPC News Online or somebody took. So you don't own that. Once it's out there, it's fair play use. We can use that content. Once you put that stuff out there, we can use. Unless you put a copyright restriction on it, you don't have the right. Now you can say you can take it down, but if you can go to YouTube, sometimes you can also get I think arbitrary disputation about it over it. And usually YouTube will sometimes side with you because the fact is it's fair use, especially if you get it from somebody else and they're not going to complain about it. So you got no right to complain about it. If it's something like if you had a competition, it's a competition video, and we put you on, you say, no, you say you can't say nothing about it because the fact is this was a competition you were at. If it's something from another photographer or another content maker and they post it and they don't say nothing about it, then you won't have the right to say, because sometimes most of those photographers and video guys own that stuff. Unless they don't say nothing about it to us, there's no point in them saying something to you. We can credit them, but if they own that stuff, that's their property, that competitor has nothing to say. But but I posted stuff for like stuff mixing videos like that, and I never had anybody come after me. But again, maybe they didn't pay attention to it, or decided that maybe I'm, maybe somebody didn't want to mess with. I don't know. Shout out to my man David. He's just sticking in here. He says he dropped another name in the comment. That's possibly maybe Olympia contender. He says I like Sylvia Martinez. She could win Miss Olympia Gorgeous. Her opponent is hot as AF. I don't know, David. I'll be honest with you. I don't think so. Now she has a great physique, but the thing is,
Yeah, I like that. She's pretty.
but she's a bit on the massive side. This is from her. She just got her first Olympic qualification at the Portugal Pro. I'm sorry, the Portugal Pro, which was just past weekend. Actually, weekend before. Again, she's a bit on the massive side. If you look at her, I think she could probably do better with WPD. Just put a little more size. She does have a great look to her. Here she is along with Julia. I mean, this is from hardcore female bodybuilding media, which is a side by side between her and Julia. I don't see it. I'll be honest with you. I don't really see it. She's a little bit more thicker compared to some of the girls. I feel like she can probably go closer to women's bodybuilding. Like if you look at Julia looks more like, especially look from the back. You look at the legs, the conditioning. She's way more bigger in the quads than most of physique competitors should be.
I don't really got no comment on it. Yeah.
But again, she has a beautiful physique, nice body. How can she place? Well, she could place in the top 10, because depending on how all the other ladies come, it's all about what position she's going to bring. But to me, I think she can do well in women's bodybuilding. She's a lot more denser, especially in the quads and the legs. She doesn't have the smaller taper waist. Her upper body is just about as even as her lower body. That's the thing is with Zeke, the one the girls be lower, leaner in the legs and the quads, and and also good with the size and the shoulders. Yeah. But again, she's from Spain. She understands English a bit. She speaks a little bit of it, but again, I think they want a more bilingual and more, I would say, more accessible athlete. But like I said, she has a great physique. you know. But again, I feel like she could probably do women's bodybuilding. Maybe give another couple of years and maybe put on more size, you know.
Yeah.
But
She
again,
almost remind me a little bit of Michelle Moon. I seen this weekend.
oh, this weekend. Oh, you went to Velvet Row?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it like? I mean, on Wednesday, it's like, if I ever get
Uh,
some money and get to go to New York, I might want to check it out.
I mean, uh, it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. I met her. It was a bit strange. I ain't gonna lie, but we talked eventually in there. So, but it was strange.
I remember you met her at a show because one of the clients was competing at an OCB show.
Yeah,
You sent me that
yeah.
picture.
I told her that.
I told Kid's hands on my girl. I interviewed her. She's my girl. When you interviewed
Well,
me, you're my girl.
I did more than that. So
Hey,
I
hey,
did more than
yo.
that.
I mean,
But
you, David. I mean, I gotta get your girl. I gotta rub up on your girls. I
I
gotta rub
did
up on
more
your
than
girls so I
that.
can get my payback, get my lick back.
You good? You can do whatever you want. Look, man. It wasn't that deep, but yeah, we got acquainted a bit. So
You said,
I'm leaving it there.
it's a bullshit, nigga. I see. Okay, shout to our man Brown Baldy. He says this. That's how you lose fans by giving a strike to some trying to support you. Sorry that happened, K. Yeah, I appreciate that, brother.
It is what it is.
Also, yeah, South American Ball Body says Sharonka definitely should place higher in WPD. I agree. Shout out to my man Davey says I agree on Sharonica, amazing woman. Here we get here in Brown Body says Texas, USA has a great bodybuilding community. Yeah, all right. Also, we got here from my man Brown Baldy. He says fair use that part. Yes, because once it's out there, it becomes fair use material because especially social media. Unless you are some kind of name brand or company where you like. One time I had got a strike because one time I took a video and it looked like it was just something off of somebody's IG, but didn't know that it was from a company that was representing that athlete, and I got a strike for that because I thought it was just her. Just it was just a workout video. She was out. She was like
Yeah.
out in something in out like outside. She was doing pull ups. She wasn't really a bodybuilder. She was just chick who was really her name is Kristen Graham. She competed in CrossFit. She's very active on social media. She got huge giant chick jungers. You know, and it was just her just doing a pull up. But then she's sponsored by a company, and they use that in their. But I didn't know that because I see most times they put like a brand, something like that, or put the company's name or something like that. Shout out to my man here. He says it's the same with the images you find online. It's fair use, fair game. Thank you. Also, shout out to my man Black Panther. He says copyright infringement is very serious. Plagiarism is also very serious. Also, try my best to create original content. The thing is, it's not like it's not original. It's no different when news pulls something like some on social media. Social media is just what it is. Shout to my man David. He says, "Dang it, Sylvia is awesome, cutie patootie, and has her posing is sexy." All right, it says we got here. Shout out to my man David says Michelle Moon is hot stuff. Yeah, and we get here from Jamie Lynn, and she says, she says this, Jamie. She says Betty Pariso. You're a little late now. We, Betty Pariso was back in the day. We're focused on the women here now. And my man here says, my man Black Person says, George, you are the greatest. Stay strong and God bless. Okay, so I think he's stepping out. Appreciate you, brother, coming through. Now, another lady who she's been doing pretty good for herself. Uh, you know, I got to actually, can you believe it? It's about a year ago when I met her when I was at Tampa, and I ran into her because she was there because one of her clients was Keisha Oliver, and she was there competing Keisha that year because she won the Masters, women's bodybuilding, qualification And I was wearing my Superman shirt. I got a black Superman shirt, and she's the real Lois Lane. And it's me, Richard, the real Lois Lane. That's Rachel Daniels. I got to just say hello to her, and we got a little pinky touch. Um, could she could be a contender for the title? I think so. I mean, she has a great look, a great body. She last year she took a step back because of stuff that was going on with her life. She took a couple years off, and then she came back and competed. Um, it was she did Pittsburgh, where she took second to Natalia. Then she won at Optima, and there was a lot of talk about how she's gonna place. But then, for whatever personal reason, she had a little mental hiccup. So she decided to take a step back from competing. Rachel went through some lot of stuff a couple years before. She got divorced. She was attacked by a dog. She was moving between Texas and Florida. She does posing, and she does a lot of very artistic posing. I'm a fan of Rachel Daniels, the real world Lane. I think she's a beautiful physique. Again, could she be a contender for women's league title? It's just about how she's going to bring. I remember her pro debut. Actually, her women's bodybuilding debut wasn't her best. I think she was 11th or 12th, and then she came back the next year. I think she climbed up a little bit higher, and then she took a break off. Because the stuff she went through between the divorce and the dog attack. And then she comes back. She does Pittsburgh, takes second to Natalia, and then she gets a qualification at Optima. She has a great look. Question is, I think that she says she's a few weeks out. So the most possibly she's going to be doing Tampa because that's where she lives. She lives in Florida. And, that'd be a show she might like to do. You got here a comment here. I'm going to take these comments here. We got here, shout out to man, Black Baldy says, there's a female athlete who are cool, will respond back, their fans, there's not as much. Oh, we have here the lovely Miss Christine Sutton. He's here, says, good topic today. I hope to someday be on that list. Hey, Christine. If you're interested, Christine, I'll send you a link if you want to join us and give your thoughts. Give me a moment. I'd like to get your thoughts, being a competitor yourself, and also hear your plans. So, Christine, if you're still, this is great. Christine, if you're still on, if you're still available, come join us. Let me know. I'll send it to your IG. Let me see. I think. Let me see. I think she's here. I'll send you the link, Christine, if you're still on. You see, give me a second. So you go, Christine. If you're free, I would love for you to join us because, like I said, I love to get feedback from you ladies. Christine turned pro at the Masters USA's last year, and I want to get her feedback on this, and also what's her plans. Is she going to compete? I just sent her the link. Give her a few minutes, and we might have here we might have here a lady on here. Shout out to my man. He says, heck yeah, Christine Sutton. Yeah, hey, we hope we might get Christine. I just sent you the link. And shout out to my man Davey says, what do you think about Sheena Olick returning to WPD? I think she's too small now for women's bodybuilding, but perfect for WPD. She's one of my top 5 favorites. Well, recently she did an interview with my man David Glenn over his Amazon Fitness Magazine podcast. She doesn't want to go back. She feels there's no point for her to go back to women's physique. Again, maybe. Because, if you look at Sheena, I'm going to pull her up in a bit. Sheena has I'm a fan of Sheena Olick. I've interviewed Sheena. I met Sheena Olick. And could she? I don't know. It's debatable, especially how the the criteria is changing. We have women right now who look like they should be doing, uh, you know, they should be doing women's bodybuilding, but they rather do stick in WPD. But Kashina come up. I mean, here goes this from Kristen. She says this says hi for sure. Okay, just click the link. You know how to do it. Once you get the link, you just follow the instructions. If you want to come in. But Kashina go back. I don't know. I look at her, and if you compare it to some of the women now, you know, she has a great look to her. Very feminine, great lines. I get to meet Sheena, but again, you can really see how she's much more larger, especially in the quads. She doesn't have the taper waist you want to see in WPD. Um, she's kind of like I remember I said to Nancy Lewis because she'd done women's physique when it first came out when she was still competing. She said she was on the cusp, but because she didn't do it. I mean, here she is. As you know, a while back she did an interview with Glenn, and I think she mentioned this. It's not obviously.
Previously on the Amazons podcast.
Now you have girls who aren't willing to take that risk hormonally, physically, psychologically, and they'll do the wellness. Christina, she dropped down from women's bodybuilding, not to physique, but she dropped down to wellness.
Exactly. And it's going to be interesting to see how she pans out. I don't think she's done a show yet, right?
No, she hasn't done a show yet. No. She hasn't done a show.
And then when you look at Shanique Grant, dropped down to wellness from women's physique after winning on Miss Olympia. I don't know.
Pro was amplifying and highlighting all of the divisions. It wasn't just like open men's bodybuilding and classic physique and bikini. Then everybody else is just chopped liver. It's like every now and then on their social media they're amplifying, they're highlighting the women who's going to be competing. I think that's all we're really asking for is a little bit more attention and promotion from promoters. To really invest in the product.
Previously on the.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm a fan of Sheena Oleg.
I was about to say, I've been on her TikTok lives and stuff. She give health talk. She educate people she educate the public on bodybuilding. It's pretty. Her lives was cool. She work out and people ask questions and stuff like that. I haven't seen her do any lives lately, but yeah, a couple of times did that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the question is, could she go back down? And I don't know. Again, she's put a lot of muscle density in between that time, since she switched from WPD to women's bodybuilding. And, even though you look at women now in WPD who look like saw Sarah made that move over to women's bodybuilding. That was a good move for her because, again, she kind of outgrew the division. We have here my man Jeff. He just popped in. Shout out to Jeff.
You know what, George? My goal is for this year is I'm going to try to make as many Muscle Mondays as I could. Not for next week because I'll be in Jersey. I'll actually be in KL's neck of the woods in New Jersey next week.
Yeah, well, I think he's a little farther from Jersey than you think. And also, folks, we have a lady. We have a lady. We have here. Calm down, man. We have here the lovely Mrs. Christine Sutton. Give me a second. I'm trying to get her in. There she is. And she's an IFE pro, turned pro last year at the Masters USA's. Congratulations, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. It's anytime I get to have a lady out here. I got all these hard legs on here. It's nice to have a little femininity every now and then.
Well, it's nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you. So Christine, as you know, what's your plans now? You are a pro. Are you, or you feel like you're more tired? You're gonna figure jump on the show this year.
I'm actually going to start prep the first week in November. And we're going to be getting ready for the Puerto Rico Pro next April. I wanted to make sure I had a pretty good long off season, a healthy off season. I think that was the main point of taking a while is not rushing into anything and making sure I had enough size for the Puerto Rico Pro.
And as you know, she's over 40, so that means she can do, because Puerto Rico pros for women's physique is doing over 40, 50, and I think that's it.
I will actually be turning 50 this September, so I'll be going into the 50 plus division in women's physique.
Wait,
What?
Wait, I just let me ask you a question. When is your birthday? Because I'm also a September born also. My birthday is the 11th.
Yeah, September 8th, so we're really close.
Hey, George, we're really close.
What? You say you're going to be 50?
I will be 50 in September, yeah.
I'll be 37.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I was certain you were at least in your, I know you got your boy, your son. I was certain you were at least maybe close to 40 than you were to 50.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
No, man, I'm not going to lie to you about her.
Yeah,
I figure
this will be a new division for me. I've been competing at the 40 level for a few years now, so 50 will be new. Pretty excited about it. Just excited to get out there, try, to qualify for the Masters Olympia.
Which you have to do the 40 plus two, because that's the only way you get the Masters qualification for the Olympia. They hadn't said when they're going to have the. I hope they have it here in the States.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because I know there was the last year with that promoter. He didn't pay everybody their money, and then he got banned. He can't promote any shows, especially with the Olympia brand.
Mm.
And but going back to subject, for you, Christine, who do you think, honestly, if Sarah or Natalia step away from the show, who you think would be a good possible Miss Olympia?
Well, I'm always hoping for my coach to get there, Brooke Walker. She's always my first pick because she's such a baddie, right? And I'm hoping that, this is going to be her year. I'm really praying for that because she's got that look and she's so beautiful. And I love that she's still feminine and she's rocking. So hoping for her for sure. But there's definitely some new faces coming in women's physique this year. And they're big and they're beautiful, and it could be a hell of a show this year for sure.
And she mentioned Brooke just started following me on my other IG account. Miss I think Latham, that's her now, Mrs. Latham now.
Yes, Latham.
And she is amazing. I think I wanted her to win back in 2022 when she competed. I think she has a great look to her, very feminine, great muscle. I mean, she has that nice next door girl look to her. The short blonde hair. I mean, she has an amazing body. We know last year she did get qualification for the Olympia, but then she took a step back because of some mental issues or whatever issues she was going through. I don't know the details of it. I think she has a great look to her. Also, she has changed her overall look of her physique. If guys, you have noticed she has added a few accoutrements. I mean, I'm depending on how you do them. If you get a blue job, if you do it right, it looks really good. It looks very, very kind of natural. But sometimes some women can overdo it. I mean, like
she did a good job on those when she got them done. She looks beautiful.
Hey, George, come here. She kind of remind me of me, because she kind of remind me of. I'm not sure this actually makes sense or not. Like kind of like a young Marilyn Monroe going to be in show business.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. She's got that look. I'm rooting for Brooke, and I hope that she gets there because she really deserves it.
Hey, Brooke. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She's also, I know she did a little meeting interview with my man David from Female Body Forum, and she's planning on doing Chicago. So this is her peak week, and I hope she does well. Yeah.
Yes. So always rooting for Brooke, and I hope she does fantastically. But all the ladies, I'm wishing everybody luck at the Chicago Pro this weekend. I think it's going to be a heck of a show.
Well, I'm going to check some real quick because the list is. I know if it's not out yet. Let me check.
I'm gonna get going. Just come here. I'm gonna get going. Hey, Chris, nice to meet you. Hey, Kay,
nice to meet you.
Hey, Book, if you're single, call me. I would like to interview your book live on this show.
No,
But George is
yo, bro. She has a husband.
I've been here, fool.
You're
I've been
done.
here, fool. Baby,
You're
be
done.
okay.
You're done, son. You're done, son. You're done, son. You're done, son. Forget about it. She got a man.
Man.
Maybe me and KL. Maybe me and KL may interview Chris and Book talking about Velvet Wall. George.
Yeah. Well, see you later, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to my man David. It says Sheena is a hot chocolate. Yeah. And also my man says Sheena Washington fat. Yeah. You know, both Sheena Olive and Sheena Washington. Both of them are lovely ladies. So as you know, from your standpoint, you know, and this most definitely I really put your feedback from lady in sport. What do you feel like would be the standard of women's physique, especially going for a title like that, like in Olympia?
Well, you know, Sandy's the head judge, and Sandy's got a look she's going for. And it's a whole package that they want: the suit, the hair, femininity, believe it or not, I think is making a big comeback in women's physique. So that's got to be part of the package too. Symmetrical look, you want the top to match the bottom, you need to have your conditioning down. That's, I think, like for me, I know that a lot of me not being able to turn pro sooner was because my top was so big and my bottom was not as big. So being symmetrical is a huge part of this. And they want the whole package when you come on stage, right? They want an actress when you're up there. They want, you know, the beauty queen. And I think that's a big part of it, believe it or not, is they want, you know, a showgirl. They want a pageant princess with muscles. And I think that's a huge part of it. I'm glad we're coming back to that. You know, I think that's
What does
awesome.
that mean? If I can ask that, like,
Yeah.
certain
Yeah,
routines.
they want you when you come on stage, they want you to prance, right? They want you to flirt. They want you to, you know, really be out there giving it your best. Have your routines down. They want a small waist, big shoulders, beautiful hair. It's a whole package that they're looking for, right? So it's not just the muscles. It's the presentation's a huge part of women's physique. And that's got to be something that, you know, people should know, you know, that the whole thing's a package, and we're trying to woo you. We're, you know, we're trying to romance you.
Well, you know, you gotta be careful with some of us. As you know, we are a particular type of criminals, Christine. I mean, we just love y'all, ladies. Y'all excite us. Y'all make us feel. Yeah, I understand that because you know you want that overall look. You want a nice feminine aesthetic. But again, there's some women who are kind of bit moving away. Like this lady who I actually got to meet when I was in Tampa is Megan Morrison, better known as Dr. Scooby, or Dr.
Yes.
Meg.
Yes.
I think she has a great look to her, but again, I don't know. I don't think she's really much a criteria. You know, maybe, like your thoughts on her. Like you feel like she's, you know,
I will tell you,
maybe
I mean,
more.
wow, what a body, right? And she's just beautiful. When I first saw her initially, I thought that she was women's bodybuilding. Um, because she kind of has that look. But what a pretty lady. Just the body's incredible. So I mean, best of luck to her too. There was definitely some very big girls this year. I know that the Shreveport show, Sarah won that show. I believe that's her name, and what a physique on her too. She was a big girl.
Yeah.
I watched her compete, and I said, "How the hell am I going to do this?" Because she's so big.
Yeah, it can be scary because you know what? Like was I think it's the picture of Megan from last year, and this is a most recent picture, I believe. I think it's like she's just up 12 pounds. She's going to be competing at. She's 7 weeks. You know, this is from picture where it says 7 weeks out from Tampa, and also 8.5 weeks from doing the Atlanta show. In one picture she was 194, and one other picture was just 206.
That's some
And
dedication because I mean it's taken me forever to put on weight this season.
yeah, and I think it goes back to age and youth. Because
Yeah,
I think if you look at
definitely.
someone like Paula, who's like 26,
Yeah,
and and she's still growing and developing. You look at Sarah, who's not even 30 yet,
yeah,
and you hit some women who have that muscle maturity that they it took them a long time to develop. You look at Andrea. Andrea, she's in her mid 40s, and and she looks really good. You look
it's a
at
different look for us, and it's a lot different. The training is a lot different. The diet's a lot different to when you get to this age. We can't train like the youngins.
no,
It cannot happen.
yeah, I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I've been losing a little bit of
Yeah,
weight, but I got to take more time to recover because my body doesn't, can't pop back up like I was if I was in my
exactly,
20s or my 30s.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Shout
yeah.
out to a
Well, thanks
man.
for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you. Shout out to a man. Jeffy says, I'm happy to join you guys. Also, he says this. He says, before I let you go, it says, wait, it popped up again. So my computer's always acting
Oh,
funny. He says,
sweet.
hey, Chris, wish you the best in life.
Oh,
And
thank you.
also,
I
he
I will
says this.
keep
He
you guys
says,
updated
yeah,
on my prep and me going into the show and all that, and that's going to be an exciting time for me. I'm really excited about competing at the pro level.
well, that's good. Also, my man Chris says, Chris is correct about romance for me, George. And also, he says this. He says, July and August, I'm not in vacation. I will be joining. Okay, appreciate that. But so we're gonna appreciate the lovely Mrs. Christine Southern for coming through IFBB Pro. Wish her best of luck. She is planning to do the Tampa Bay Pro. Not sorry,
Puerto
uh,
Rico
Puerto
Pro.
Rico Pro next year. Maybe you might even do Tampa. You feel
I
like
might.
have
We'll
it.
see where we go.
All right. Well, thank you. Say hello to your husband and hug the baby, and thank you for your time.
We'll do
Appreciate it.
it. Thanks, guys.
All
Have a
right.
good one.